Geoffrey Canada is a man who feels the urgency of time to save children from despair and to fill their minds with education, which will help them discover their own means of deliverance. There are very few people who I've met who are as passionate about what they are trying to do with the young people. And to do it in a neighborhood in a 60-block area of Harlem, a much-needed neighborhood. And I hope that his example can be duplicated throughout the country. And I don't know how many people know about the good work that he's doing, but I thought that this may be a great opportunity to introduce it to our readership.
What we're trying to do here in Harlem is to figure out a way that we can get the children of Harlem, who have for the last 50 years been at the bottom of the state in all the kind of positive outcomes we care about children. Graduation rates, incarceration rates, foster care rates, substance abuse, teenage pregnancy. I mean, Central Harlem has been doing horrible. We're trying to go into a neighborhood of 60 blocks and trying to change the outcomes for those children by starting with children from birth and staying with those children right through till they graduate from college.
Standing up nice and tall. I want you to look directly at the person you're standing in front of. Look them in the eye. We're going to count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Promise Academy Creek. Our futures are bright. We keep our goals in sight. Promise Academy helps us to see all that we can be. We will go to college. We will succeed. This is our promise. This is our creed.
My own work is really informed by my own life. I grew up poor in the South Bronx. I was raised by a single mom. She had 4 boys. Father left us when we were infants. And my mother struggled, and she struggled really, really hard to try and figure out how to keep food on our table and a roof over our heads and clothes on our back. And there's often sacrifices that she had to make to try and get her kids through the South Bronx at a time when the South Bronx was really considered one of the worst sort of urban landscapes in America. And I remember growing up thinking, you know, how come children like us, and me and my friends, were growing up in a world filled with roaches and mice and rats and filthy hallways and dilapidated buildings and no heat and no hot water. And I had promised myself when I was 13 or 14 that if I ever made it, I was going to come back in communities like the South Bronx and try and help children have a chance. And I think the one thing that I felt was that most of my friends never had a chance. We have a group of our 4-year-olds who are in our Harlem Gems program, and it's a program that starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and goes at 5:45 in the evening. It goes for 11 months a year. We have a student-teacher ratio that there's 4 students for each adult inside that classroom, and we teach the children in French and Spanish and English, and we teach them everything a kindergartner needs to know. All the basics, but we teach them in 3 languages, and when I have people that come and visit that program. They look at those little boys and the girls who are speaking French and they say, "Are those kids Haitian?" I say, "No, those aren't Haitian kids. It's African-American kids. They're just learning to speak French." Or if they come into Spanish class, they want, "Are those kids from the Dominican Republic?" No, those kids are just African-American kids. They're learning to speak Spanish.
One more time.
And I see what happens to the adults because they sit there and they think, those are some smart kids. You know what? They're just some kids. They're just the average kid with a chance.